We are closing down on our last few remaining state-only challenges after we just completed the Central States-only challenge, including the states of Arkansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. And that was probably our worst one yet in terms of overall success, where we've won, I want to say it was 5 to 6 games up into that final year, of which we won another 5 or 6 games, never making it to the playoffs. So they joined the list of the failed challenges. You can see the entire list down below. And unfortunately, that list of failed is really starting to grow. And I would love to turn things around and finally get a win. And with the voting from you all, we have definitely got ourselves one that I would imagine is gonna be a success. By a narrow vote, had to be 1 or 2 people. Alabama has won the vote. So we'll be using Bama, but Bama does not have an NFL team. There are 3 teams that are close by. However, only one of them, according to a report I saw, is the unanimous top team favored in the state of Alabama. And that is going to be the New Orleans Saints. And as for our head coach, it is going to be Mark Ingram II, just a couple years really removed from the NFL, though honestly I don't know quite if he officially retired. I feel like he did. But either way, we're going to be using him as our head coach, and we will be using the Saints, same team that we used for the Louisiana state-only challenge, quite obviously. Now, the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons are actually a little bit closer to at least the majority of Alabama compared to the Saints. But again, the report said that the Saints are the primarily favored team, so that is going to be the team we're rocking with just for the uniforms as well as the stadium. Now, as we always do for this series, as if you're new, quick update, it's primarily a sim, 98% sim. So we are going to use All Pro because that is what Madden is really designed to run properly at, and considering we're not playing very many, if any, plays with us, really just if we need a 4th down conversion and we need to tell the team to go for it, we will. An occasional 2-minute offense, but primarily it's going to be All Pro, so the CPU matches up very well against the CPU. We get good gameplay. Gonna have the 8-minute quarters. One of the things we are turning off is the dynamic momentum, just because that kind of makes things a little bit broken in at least my estimation and from gameplay experiences that I've seen. So that gets turned off. And the only other things being turned off is the pre-existing injuries and the progressive fatigue, so that way at the end of the season, you have everyone playing the pre-existing injury off, so that way we could use everyone no matter if they were injured in real life. Now, typically for these series, I pull up a spinny wheel of all available teams. However, for the state of Alabama, you have Bama and you have South Alabama. There might be some FCS or D2 schools, and if there are players available from those, we'll utilize them, but I don't include those in the spinning wheel. We're not going to be using the spinning wheel today because Southern Alabama or South Alabama, they only have 4 players in the NFL currently, at least according to my list. It's primarily going to be a Bama only challenge, and hopefully some Southern Alabama players come in and make a difference. So we're just going to be sticking straight with Alabama. And going off of what I had essentially just talked about with some of those smaller schools, there is Tyreek Hill available for us, who had to transfer from West Alabama. I don't know if he straight up went to Oklahoma State when he first went to college, or if he went to a JUCO, then Oklahoma State, then was cut back to a JUCO, and then to West Alabama. I don't know exactly the story. All I know is that he was released from Oklahoma State at one point. So there is Tyreek Hill. However, some of the top quarterbacks have already gone. So I just want to see if we have Young, and we do. Okay, so he's just down at a 72. I'm worried he might go. So he might be one of our top picks. Again, we'll only go through the top 5 together, but definitely we need a quarterback because there's not too many options outside of Tua and Bryce Young. As for the running back spot, there are several other top-end guys. Derrick Henry, going to be a 94, then Josh Jacobs a 90. Leaning more towards Jacobs because he is on the younger side. But Derrick Henry, he is only 29, so we very well could go after him, and he would probably stick around for a good bit as well, depending on who ends up going first overall here early on. Josh Jacobs also still an X factor. He's a good bit younger at 25. As for the offensive line, the top Bama guy that I've seen so far, at least still available, is Landon Dickerson, a left guard in 83. So he's definitely not going to be one of the top targets quite yet. However, for the defensive side, once again, we have a couple really good options for the defensive line. Quinnen Williams, a 94, and then Jonathan Allen, an 89. Obviously, Williams is going to be the younger of the two, but we have a couple options towards the top, so that makes things a little bit easier for us in terms of getting guys that we need earlier on. As for middle linebacker or inside backer, there is CJ Mosley out of Bama, who's an 88, so a lot of high-end talent. What I'm worried about is that there's a lot of high-end talent, not a lot of mid or later round talent, so we could run out of players. However, we'll have to wait to see what happens there. As for corner, top guy, at least still available, Marlon Humphrey, 91. And as for safeties, top is Minkah Fitzpatrick, actually sitting atop the board here. He's a 93, however, I think we go after first a gadget player in Tyreek Hill, get a 99, then I feel like we need to go after Young, and then we could start just spreading things out a little bit. So let's bring in Tyreek Hill. He's 29. He'll probably be good for, if not all, the majority of this series. So he's going to be our first selection. Then with the second pick, we have to go after Bryce Young. He's the top available quarterback for us. He's a hidden dev as he's technically still a rookie here. I want to say, because we have the Panthers traditional franchise, that he is a superstar if I'm not mistaken. So that would be great for this series. Gonna bring in Bryce Young next. Now with this next pick, we have a few different options. There is Jonathan Allen, a DT. I don't know how many other top options we're gonna have for true DT guys. However, for the middle linebacker, there is CJ Mosley, who's also towards the top of the list. We did miss out on the corner. That sucks, but we could still pick up someone like Minkah Fitzpatrick. There is also both the running backs in Henry and Josh Jacobs available. So going after some of the thinner spots that I think we might have, I think it really comes down to the defensive line and Fitzpatrick. Now, I'm hoping we could wait one more round and then go for the defensive linemen. So let's go for top of the defensive backs we could possibly have in Minkah Fitzpatrick. And it would not come back to bite us, so Jonathan Allen still available. We are gonna go here. He's actually younger than I thought he was, 28, so he should be around for the full length of this series as well. And as we get to the fifth round, Derrick Henry goes right before our final selection. So let's see if Josh Jacobs is still available. And indeed he is. So I think that is where we go next. Do we still possibly have the linebacker available? We do. Mosley. That might be the first pick I have after. So let's go with our running back here. Get some weapons for our offense. And hopefully we still have some other good guys to go after. But the last pick we will have together is going to be Josh Jacobs. Now let's jump forward and show you the full roster. And before we go over the actual starting lineup, I completely forgot about UAB, so we possibly could have done the spinning wheel. UAB had a few more players in South Alabama. I don't know why I'm going to keep saying that, but either way, we do have some UAB players, and none of them were too high, so we ended up not missing out on a lot of them. We did miss out on a good bit of Bama players. Maybe they'll join us later on. But as for the first year starting lineup, obviously we're going to have Young at quarterback, the hidden dev, Josh Jacobs and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to be our running backs. We also have Kenyon Drake and McBride out of UAB. As for the receivers, it is starting off with Hill and Williams, Jamison Williams over on the other side. We also have Mechie the third, and we have Julio Jones as our mentor. Then we have a couple depth guys, Sims and Baker. As for the offensive line, for the most part, it is pretty solid, though for some reason it doesn't have the proper guy here starting at right guard, so I'll have to double check that. Either way, we should have Jonah Williams. He's supposed to be there, and we're supposed to have a different guy at right tackle, so I'll need to fix that before we get into the game. But Everett is going to be our starting tight end. We also have Irv Smith Jr. and OJ Howard, plus a couple other guys down the line. As for the defense, we're going to be rocking a 4-3, a very heavy DT, essentially forward defensive line. We don't really have any true edge rushers, so we should be really good at stopping the run. We're going to see how well the pass rush works, as we have Allen, Reed, Tomlinson, and Hand. No team should be running the ball on us. We're just going to have to hope that our guys can cover, which we do have good safeties, Eddie Jackson and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Behind them, we do have Battle and Helms, maybe pronouncing that correctly. But the cornerback group is pretty weak for us. Despite there actually being a lot of really good corners from Bama, They just went way too early before we could actually get to him. So we actually moved Kareem Jackson from safety to corner. He's going to be our top guy with Janoris Jenkins. Then Malcolm Butler is going to be our slot nickel guy. Middle linebackers, or just linebackers in general, aren't too bad. Mosley leads us there at an 88. Then we also have Evans and Harrison Jr. It's not a bad group, but it is a group that could see some development. We also have Landon Collins playing at a linebacker, and he's going to be our guy across the board. However, he might play a little bit of some corner if need be. He doesn't have great cover skills any longer, but if we need him to play some slot corner, we definitely could. As for our kicker and punter, well, there were only punters. So we moved Scott over to kicker, yet he's also going to be our punter, but we do have Waitman being a backup punter if we need that. As for the returners, it's going to be Gibbs across the board, and the specialist, we're going to have him switching around with Jacobs a little bit. Third down back is going to be Gibbs. Power back is going to be Jacobs. Jacobs is the primary running back as well. We talked a little bit about the slot guy. Mechie is going to be the slot for the offense, Butler for the defense, and it's the same lineup for the rush defensive line because there's really no other option there for us. Sub backers are Mosley, then Collins, then Harrison Jr. However, as we start this season, Eddie Jackson is a little bit shaken up. We do have that rookie behind him in battle, so he'll be able to step right in. Not too big of a discrepancy between the overalls, so that's just going to give the young guy a greater opportunity to develop. But I do think it's time that we jump into our first game of this series. And we get underway with the defense out first. Again, this is a very large front for us, so hopefully we don't see too much rushing on us, as the first play is going to go for 15, as it's Aaron Jones getting 14 on it, up to the 38. Well, just as everything with any team, you have to have plays on all level. Could have used more from the linebackers there, as we don't bring the blitz here. Pass across the middle is going to be another big gain, as Patrick Mahomes finds his guy for a gain of 24. Now, at least the fun part with this matchup is it looks to be a pretty dominant offense. It's going to meet our pretty dominant offense as well. Good stop there finally comes from Landon Collins stepping out. We'll only really see him in the nickel formation. He's not going to be one of the guys really coming out in the base packages. As Mahomes drops back, rolls, finds, not finding his guy, just out in front. That'll leave us with a 3rd and 11 as they spread empty. Now, we are pretty slow in the secondary. I think our fastest guy, maybe an 88 speed, as we do get some pass rush. But Mahomes looking to scramble, picking up the first down, a gain of 15. And so far this drive alone, pretty much every play that's been positive has been a gain of about 15 or more. We did have the one tackle for a loss and then the bad pass, so a little bit of a mix to start, to say the least, really. As they go back to the passing game, Mahomes stepping up, finding McBride, who's down to the 3. I feel like one of the first moves we're really going to have to make for this team is to bring in cornerback help. There's plenty of young options. As they go with the toss down to the bottom, Aaron Jones breaks the tackle and is in. Tennessee strikes first. And with that, they take a 7-0 lead for our offense to head out, who also has some really good talent. First play is through the hands of Hill. Not what I expected from Tyreek. Good throw, though, from Young, and almost the exact opposite start of how the Titans started. Now with a bunch up top, one down to the bottom. We are using the Buffalo Bills playbook, as Young will try to buy some time and then throws it away as Kayvon Thibodeau shaken up. A pretty big early injury here for the Titans defense. Leaves us with a 3rd and 10. We got 3 down to the bottom, 1 up top. Young looking for a throw. Only a 3-person rush all the time. Loading up deep. Do we have a 3-on-1 that's going to be picked? Not a smart decision. They return it up to the 47 with Von Bell. So not how you really wanted to start this one. Titans take back over on offense, picking up another first down, though no gains of 15 until Tyler Lockett picks up 12. A big chunk there for him. Back down inside the red zone with McBride. Down inside the 10 now, first and goal, then they lose 3. Second and goal, 11 yards. Trey McBride, they take a 2-score lead here. 14-0, 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Can we get a better second drive? There we go. We find Everett with 17. 20 more going right back to him into plus territory. And 38-yard touchdown. Josh Jacobs scores the first of the Alabama-only challenge. So our offense can clearly move. Obviously, we kind of knew the defense was going to be a little bit of a struggle here for us early on, considering we don't really have much of a pass rush. We got some very much aging receivers. As Sterling Shepard, or receivers corners, picks up a nice gain. Jones then loses another 3. Rush by Mahomes picks up 5, sends us to the second quarter for 3rd and 8. A fumble recovered by Minkah Fitzpatrick. So as long as we could get some of the big name guys on the defense making plays like that, our offense can definitely get things taken care of. We got a good offensive line. We got good talent across the board as Jacobs nearly picks up the first down, a gain of 9. His one and only other carry was the previous touchdown, which we are now down still a touchdown. Jacobs picking up the first down. Nice power running up to the 46. Hopefully we do see a good balance between the power rushing and then spreading wide as we do here. An empty look here for Young. They bring the corner blitz late. We check down to the outside. We find our guy who's going to pick up a couple more yards as now Robert Quinn. Second D lineman injured here for the Titans. Hopefully we can take advantage of that with the power running game. As we come out with a bunch down to the bottom, go with a toss with a lead blocker who did not lead block. It's actually, I think, a loss of 1 to bring up 3rd and 7. We got 2 up top, 1 down to the bottom. First down is about the 44. Young stepping up, delivers just too wide. 4th and 7 though at midfield. And I'm feeling like we go for it a little early on here. Try to get something off the turnover. We're sitting at midfield, got 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Gonna flood the left side of the field, maybe look for a flat release here by Jacobs. See if that opens things up a little bit for us. Which we could get it out there to him. Look to break the tackle, which he does, but he does not stay in bounds. Will be a turnover on downs. So still a little bit of a slow start for our offense. Defense made some plays last time out as they pick up the first down there with a gain of 8. Then 12 more going to Tyler Lockett. 11 more to Deebo Samuel. They're inside the red zone. Closing down to about the 10, inside the 10 for 3rd and 3. And they get 8, down to the 1, 1st and goal, then the penalty's gonna back them up. At least 1st and goal at the 6, they get 4, 2 more remaining, and they're in with Aaron Jones. So at the beginning of next episode, as we'll get through this game, sim a couple games, then bring first episode to a close, definitely we'll have to start by looking at some corner trade options as we pick up a nice gain up to the 40 with Jacobs. Outside of him not picking up the first down the last time, a pretty good start for him. We haven't seen much of Gibbs with 3 up top, 1 down to the bottom. Young underneath, finding his guy who gets rocked after breaking the tackle. I believe that might have been Julio Jones. Have him in essentially as a mentor for some of the young receivers. Kicks up 4 with one more play right before the 2-minute warning across the middle, down to the opposite 30. No idea who just caught that. I think that might have been Mechie. Gets us down to the 28. With plenty of time left in this game, we go to Gibbs here, who does not get the block he needed. Only 1 of 3. So pretty good play there from the Titans defender. Leaves us with 2nd and 6. About a minute and a half remaining. Young from the pocket. Going back to the screen, this time with Jacobs, who will pick up 1 block, shake 1 defender, first down, out of bounds. Now, it's one thing we have definitely learned from the Panthers traditional franchises. Young doesn't quite have that deep ball accuracy, so I want to keep these short and medium throws. Hopefully we'll see those happen. If we need to change the playbook around a little bit, we definitely can. But I'm liking the power addition with Jacobs. Coming off of our last state-only challenge, or states-only challenge, we didn't really ever have a dominant running back. So it's nice that we have 2 options here as we're under a minute left in the half. Young down to the bottom, and there is his guy. It's Julio Jones. And with that, we narrow this one down 21-14 with about 40 seconds left before half. and they'll just send it straight to half after one play to Sterling Shepard. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, they get ball to, actually no, we should get ball to start, and we do a great opportunity here for our offense to level this game up as we get 20 to Tyreek Hill. I believe that's his first catch. Targeted him once earlier. He dropped it. 2nd and 9, a penalty there on the younger offensive line. Definitely not a rookie. I want to say 3rd or 4th year. Leaves us with 3rd and 16 after the gain of 3. What can we get here? First down to John Mechie the third, gets us down to the 30. Let's jump in from here. Looking to tie the game up. We've taken up about 2.5 minutes of the quarter so far. Coming out with the I form, we got O.J. Howard playing a little bit of fullback for us with the good lead blocks. However, caught from behind is Jacobs, though 9 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Most of those yards coming off his touchdown from the first half. We'd like to see some more big chunk plays from this offense as we go with the RPO, swinging out. Not going to get anywhere on the tight end flat release with Everett. Not too often I go with a flat release on an RPO, but we tried it. Didn't work. 3rd and 4. Young from the pocket. Going up top. Just out of reach. 4th and 4 at the 25. And considering how we had to move a punter to kicker, I'd rather go for it in this situation. Just need the 4 yards. Got 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Under center is Young. Hard count, no one jumps. Just need the first. We find Mechie, who holds on to it, takes a couple hits, keeps the drive alive. And with that, we'll jump back to the broadcast view here. With a single back set, we hand it off. Jacobs down the middle, trucks a ghost, keeping those legs moving until he gets picked up, slammed down there at the end, though no penalty. Was technically a hit after the whistle. You never know in the NFL nowadays. Could be a penalty, could be a fine. As it's 2nd and 7, Young will step up, sliding down in front of Pratt. Gonna avoid the hit, gain of 2. And that'll leave us with a 3rd and 5 at the 14, in which we come out with all our targets down to the bottom. Young, clean pocket, until it collapses right when I say that. So 4th and 13, Carl Lawson gets the sack at the 21. Let's test out this kicker, or punter, really. We've done it a couple times in a variety of these different challenges. Even in the last one we did, it worked out, and his first kick is good. But of course, that still leaves us down as Battle, the rookie, gets a knockaway. We need a good drive here from our defense. 3rd and 5, a chance to get off the field. A knockaway once again by Battle. Great job from the defense. Gives us a chance to take a lead now with a touchdown. Field goal still leaves us behind. 2nd and 9, we get 5 to Gibbs. 3rd and 4, 6 to Everett. So some shorter completions here, or shorter plays, but consistent as we hit the 4th quarter here. A 3rd and 1. A penalty on Ryan Kelly. All right, team, what do we got here? An incomplete throwaway. We're at the 50. This is a punting spot, which could be safer. So let's do that. Let's punt away here. Defense has improved throughout the game. We got to hope that they continue to do so as they pick up 4 as they're backed up. Now up to the 8. First down for him with the 8-yard rush by Jones. Then 8 more to Sterling Shepard. As we move under 6 minutes left, another gain of 8. Another, well, not a gain of 8, so that's an improvement. Gain of 5, lose 2nd and 5, then a throwaway. 3rd and 5, knocked away by C.J. Mosley. We'll get the ball back. 5-0, now 5 minutes on the clock. We start back at the 23. Really need this one to be a good drive for us. We got a bunch up top, one down to the bottom. Haven't seen much from Tyreek Hill. As we go with the power rush game, Jacobs breaks the first tackle, though not breaking the second. 14 carries for him, over 100 yards and a touchdown, but it's been a while since we've been back in the end zone. We got 2nd and 10 here, still at the 24. Going back down the middle, trying to find some lanes. They're not quite opening up much. 3rd and 7. Seems to be a pretty solid Tennessee Titans defense, though. As we got 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Young, we need a play here. They bring the blitz. We get it to Gibbs with a block in front. Going to be a first down and a little bit more. Tack on an extra 3. Do like the use that we are getting from Gibbs, though, kind of using him as a receiving threat. 1st and 10. Down to the bottom and off Tyreek hands again. That one at least behind him. But still, expect more from Tyreek. 99 overall. If it hits your hands, you got to catch it. As we go to Gibbs here with a lead block. powering through to pick up an extra 1 or 2 yards. But we'll need to pick up an additional 2 yards here on third, though we make a check to a single back set. Look for maybe a stretch down to the bottom, or just power on right down the middle. Good cut, though, from Jacobs. Picks up much more than the first down. We're into plus territory now at the 42. Do like how we're running this offense, though, this drive. Taking it slow, letting the clock drain, because if we get that touchdown, we take the lead. Don't want to leave him much time. And it's a third pass through the hands of Tyreek Hill. Right now, he's the biggest bust of the series. 3 straight drops. He's had 1 catch today for about 20 yards, but that's about it. As we get it out to Gibbs, spinning off the tackler. Should have just not even been close to him. Makes it 3rd and 1. And from there, we hit the 2-minute warning. A good time here to bring back in Jacobs. Need the first down, though we keep Gibbs out there. It's a tight shotgun look. Just need the 1 yard. But we will throw from it. Young down to the bottom. Finds his target. First down and out of bounds is Mechie. If I am mispronouncing names throughout the series, do definitely let me know. I always like to correct those. I'm pretty sure that's how that one is pronounced, as Young threw it straight to the linebacker and Al-Shahir, intended for Hill. That can be costly. For the most part, he made good decisions in this game, but that one was definitely a bad one. 1st and 10 now, the Titans take over. We can't let them have a first down. Good tackle there is Collins. Again, we have a dominant rush defensive line, so we should not allow much. 2nd and 8. Heavy set going with a stretch to the top is Jones. Not going to get by. I think that was the safety flying down. 3rd and 8, though. They spread empty. Got a bunch up top, 2 down to the bottom. Mahomes to the bottom and through the hands of Jones, knocked away by number 27 in battle, the rookie, with 3 knockouts in this game alone. We will force the punt. At about a minute and a half or so, we'll have an opportunity once again to try to take a lead. Field goal does us no good. We need a touchdown. As Gibbs returns it, we'll start at about the 42-43. And this is really a perfect opportunity here for explaining when I do jump in. We have a minute, 33 seconds, and we have 1 timeout remaining. So I'm going to jump in here to help try to manage the clock as best as possible. As Young, trying to scramble to the outside, just managed to pick up whatever we can. It's a gain of 2, out of bounds. Well, I guess at least one little extra bit that I have here is the fact that we do have the Panthers franchise, so I quite know how to use Young. But it's 2nd and 8. We still got a good distance to go for us to really get much of anything here. As Young once again going to scramble. He gets down. Let's get back to the line quickly here. Again, only have the 1 timeout. We could use Tyreek Hill to make some plays here. Have not seen that from him yet. As the clock ticking under a minute left. Look for a check down to Gibbs. Back to the line. Now they are running a little bit of some press on the outside, but they have safety help. We got speed on the outside for sure. If we could get one of them, look for a back shoulder throw, and Williams almost catches it while standing out of bounds. Luckily for us, though, Carl Lawson's shaken up. Will be a short timeout. Unfortunate to say lucky for us. Hope he's okay. However, that does still leave us with a 3rd and 2, in which they walk down the safety to the left-hand side. We got an RPO dialed up. We'll go with a pass, and it's Julio Jones with the catch. Back to the line quickly here. Again, we got about 20 some odd seconds, 1 timeout remaining. They're still moving around. They're not set. Get this one out to Williams with the not sideline, but side of the end zone catch. We take the lead with 17 seconds left. A perfect drive there executed by Young without using a timeout. Great throw, however. Did we leave too much time here for Patrick Mahomes? They have all of their timeouts and 17 seconds left. A field goal for them would tie this game up. They start with 3 up top, 1 down to the bottom. With a clean pocket up top, they do find their guy. Sterling Shepard with a first down and out of bounds at the 38. They need the 40 for Daniel Carlson. And considering they do have all of their timeouts, they can utilize the middle of the field. 2 spread either side. Mahomes down to the bottom. Catch, out of bounds. It's a gain of 2. Now 8 seconds left. The defensive line wants to show up with some pass rush. That could be huge. 3 up top, 1 to the bottom. Mahomes, from a pretty clean pocket, lofts it out of bounds. 1 play left. At least, assuming that there's not any penalties. It's a Hail Mary or nothing here as they're back at the opposite 41. Mahomes, quick throw to his guy. It's caught, Sterling Shepard, but goes nowhere with no time left. It is a comeback win from our Alabama state-only challenge in the very, very first game. But can we keep some of the positives going? Can we see the defense do as well as they did in the second half throughout games? That's going to be the test. And it would appear we would keep building off the good as we would start 3-0 as we beat the Panthers 35-13 as well as the Packers 17-10. And in this Panthers game, our rookie quarterback went off. Bryce Young, 5 touchdowns, 304 yards. He did have 1 interception, 60% completion, but a great game from him. Did he happen to run much? Not really, but Jacobs still ran really well. And what about Hill? He actually caught the ball a little bit this time, did have a touchdown, 5 catches, 61 yards, but it was Jamison Williams who was the mainstay. 118 yards on 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. John Mechie also got in the end zone. In the following game against the Packers, we did have another player of the week. However, it was over on the defensive side, and it was with one of our veterans who's technically not supposed to be out there all too much in Landon Collins. He had 6 tackles, a tackle for a loss, a sack, and an interception, which won him Defensive Player of the Week. And that leads us to the final game of the episode. Now, first, I was going to sim through the first 4 weeks or the following couple weeks to get us through the first quarter of the season. However, this is a pretty big one. It's a pretty solid Tampa Bay Buccaneers team who are 3-0. They have a corner who we could have. Obviously, didn't go with him early on because he was already drafted before we got to pick. But we have a pretty solid offense, a pretty all right to good defense. But the Saints and the Buccaneers, or I should say, are Alabama only and the Buccaneers, are both 3-0. So this is a battle for top of our division, the NFC South. So I think it would be better here to end with a quarter sim. So let's jump on into this one and see how the first half goes. Maybe get into a little bit of that second half depending on how the flow of the game goes. So let's see who's going to end this episode as top of the NFC South. Now, a good thing for us is this is a home game. We start off with a quick touchdown, that we give up a touchdown, answer with a field goal. A lot of scoring in that first quarter. It ends 10-7. Let's get through the second quarter as defense gets a stop, grabs a touchdown. A slow drive, but they do score, and before half, we're not able to get any more points. So we are up 17-14 at halftime. Let's get through the third quarter. See if either team can really start to separate as we have a tied game here. And it looks like as the fourth quarter begins, it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers driving. So let's slow things down a little bit. First and goal, throw away. Kyler Murray on second and goal, hands it off to Saquon. It's a 1-yard gain. Third and goal, only 6 yards, setting up a field goal. Chip shot missed by Tyler Bass. We start back at the 9. A great stand there from the defense, and it just said miss, so it wasn't even blocked, but we have a long field in front of us. I would love to drain some clock here, find some points as Young with all the time lost it out. Tyreek with the sideline grab, already making a much better impact in this game after just 1 play watching than our first game. We'll say it was very strange seeing how bad he was in that first one. Hopefully that was just a one and done as we go to Jacobs, who does not get to the outside. Shaq Barrett with a quick stop. Good news, though, for us, that was only his second tackle of the game, has not had any sacks or anything of the like. So that part, good. Knock on wood, we don't see any more of it. Second and 10, handed off Jacobs, down the middle, nice juke, sends him into the corner. We'll slow him down after a gain of 5, but Jacobs averaging over 10 yards a carry. Plus, on top of that, I think he had at least 1, if not 2 touchdowns, so he might have all of our touchdowns in this one. Third and 5, need a first down here. Young having to scramble out, buy some time, and throws it straight to the linebacker. There wasn't a Saint jersey on the screen, setting it up beautifully for the Buccaneers. Absolutely made no sense on where that ball was even going. Madden being weird on that one for sure. First and 10, for the Buccaneers with Kyler Murray. Instant pass rush. Gets a hit in on him, though he gets the ball out. However, first time I really got to see some pass rush there, given we don't have much pass rush ability on this team. Definitely something we need to find as they go with a handoff that will get them a few, as Jerron Reed's shaken up. And it looks like it might be serious. Very much a lower body injury. He'll work to the sideline. He did not head off the field. Whether he just wants to watch the rest of the game, not sure. Draw to Saquon will pick up the first. However, he's had a fairly successful game today. 22 yards, 99, or 22 carries, 99 yards. Not as good as Jacobs, but still pretty solid. As the play action rollout, they get it down towards the end zone, but Murray misses his guy. If they had an extra 5 yards downfield and plus sideline space, that is a big play. Definitely beat us by speed alone. As Murray looks to get to the outside, that speed's gonna beat us to the edge. Good thing we got some decent tacklers on the outside. Rodney Harrison Jr. with the tackle leaves them with 3rd and 3. It'll be a heavy tight end single back set, but it will be a throw. Murray down to the bottom, first down, headed down the sideline to about the 7 before he gets stood up. So the Buccaneers definitely draining clock here. We're under 4 minutes left. Saquon with a cut down the middle, not gonna get very far. Just about a gain of 1 as Evans meets him. Leaves him 2nd and goal. Kyler is a threat to scramble down here as he gets to the outside, but clobbered. It is Allen. Not much of an edge guy, but having to play it here, doing well. Brings up a 3rd and goal at the 11. It's a tight set, single back. They hand it off. Getting to the outside, need a tackle, and we get the tackle. Minkah Fitzpatrick. And that will bring up a field goal attempt. They missed their last opportunity in this same spot. Bass misses it, but not this time. And following a terrific return by Gibbs, who got the ball all the way up to the 45, setting us up pretty well to try to find a winner. As Bryce Young and the offense will head out in plus territory, all their timeouts. We just need to play smart as we get to the outside. Once again, pass rush freezes. Has there been a Madden update? We had that in the last state-only challenge too. This time not as big for us as we hit the 2-minute warning. But something definitely seems to be a little bit broken. Not quite sure if it's just the sim state or what. Haven't seen it in the Panthers franchise. As we dump this one off, and well, so does Everett. Big hit comes in, leaves us with 3rd and 6. They'll come out with a double A-gap look from the defense, though back out of it. No extra rushers. Got a guy sitting up top. It is Hill with the first down to around the 22. We could definitely do with chewing some clock here, though I'll let the offense continue to do them. It's Madden AI, so I don't want to make things too difficult for them. Under a minute and a half, down towards the bottom, and it gets picked again. We need the tackle here. Young's got to get it, and he will. It's Patrick Surtain with the interception, who should be a teammate of ours. Well, defense, can you get us one more stop? They might be already sitting in field goal range. I expect runs here. Need our defensive line to step up. Quick stop down the middle to gain a 2 first timeout called as we sit with a minute 16. We could give up the field goal, just makes it a tougher touchdown win, but we need a touchdown either way for the win. Field goal could tie and send to overtime. 3rd and 5, though, this is the big play. Minute 12 on the clock, they're at the 32. They will throw. Kyler up top, has his guy, first down. That will do it. 2 late game interceptions from Young, both of which bad throws, loses us the game. So after a very promising start, 3-0, we then trip up in division due to our own mistakes. Good plays, though, made by the Tampa Bay defense. But our defense, they played winning ball. Our offense just couldn't get the scores. We threw it away. So that'll leave a little bit of a sour taste, though, at the end, but it was still a great start here to Alabama State Only Challenge. As we are 3-1 in our division, we've already won more games in this season than we did in about half, if not a little bit more than half, of our previous state-only challenge. So a good start. The offense has a great foundation, just need to clean up some of the internal mistakes. Defense, they've got some guys. We could use some help at edge rush and at corner for the future. Fortunately, we saw one of our possible corners give us our first loss, but overall, I think it's a pretty good start. If you enjoyed and you have not already, make sure you hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down and hit the sub button so you can stick around. As I record this is the first video I've recorded as we have passed the 1K mark on YouTube. So if you have joined, or if you are going to join, I very much appreciate it. The first big milestone here on YouTube. So obviously that means we're going to have a little bit of some ads at the beginning or at the end. I'm also probably in this series, probably would have already happened, maybe putting him in at the end of a game or so. That just goes and helping me out because I do put a lot of time into this series and it makes it free for you guys. So if you do enjoy and you have subbed, I very much do appreciate it. To be notified of when these videos go out, hit that bell icon down below. This series is out every single Wednesday and Saturday. As mentioned throughout this episode, we do also have the Panthers traditional franchise where we play every single play. That series is every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you guys got 6 videos every single week. I appreciate you all who have stick around. I appreciate if you just watch and you haven't hit that sub button because that still very much helps this channel grow. So I'll see you all next time as we finish off the first regular season here. If we continue on the same trajectory that we've started, it should be a playoff season.
How it's supposed to feel.